Please be seated. Give thanks to the grace of the Lord that we shall begin our morning prayer. And in this morning, we would like to share a passage before we all kneel down and pray in one accord. Let's all turn to Psalm chapter 74. Psalm 74. Psalm 74 from verse 1 to verse 7. Verse 1. O God, why have you cast us off forever? Why does your anger smoke against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your congregation, which you have purchased of old, the tribe of your inheritance, which you have redeemed, the Mount Zion where you have dwelt. Lift up your feet to the perpetual desolation. The enemy has damaged everything in the sanctuary. Verse 4. Your enemy roar in the midst of your meeting place. They set up their banners of signs. They have like men who lift up axe among the fig trees. Verse 6. And now they break down its carved work all at once with axes and hammer. Verse 7. They have set fire to your sanctuary. They have defiled the dwelling place of your name to the ground. That in here, Psalm chapter 74 describe a very devastating devastating situation. So today and tomorrow in our morning prayer, we want to spend some time to look into this passage, probably one of the most dreadful passage in the Psalms. From the very beginning, the author of this song described that we are the chosen one. We are the sheep on his pasture. We are the redeemed inheritance. We are the Israel, the people that belong to God. But if you read carefully, start from the beginning, even after all these beautiful titles, giving glorious names, the people that belong to God, the sheep on the pasture, even after giving all those honor and glorious title of the Israel, the prince of the Lord. But from the beginning, it says that, why have you forsaken us? Why is your place laying ruined and desolated? So the author in here, he gave a very devastating cry to the Lord and asked the Lord, why? We are your chosen people. Why are we in such a devastation? Why are we facing in such a great agony? So in this passage, as I say, this is probably one of the most dreadful message, a cry of pleading in the book of Psalms. But why? What causes all the problem? What might take away the honor and glory from the people of the Lord? So following, we are seeing a few issues. And it is our duty to study the issue and understand what might be the potential threat to you and I, who are the chosen one, the people that belong to God, who are the citizen of the heavenly kingdom. What might be the cause of that great devastation into a member's life? Let's go back to Psalm chapter 74. From verse 4, it begins by that the enemy roar in the midst of your meeting place. So whenever we talk about roar in YASC, I believe that you are all very well versed, growing up in the church, attending all the seminars. So whenever you read about the term roar, that I believe immediately, the first thing that comes to your mind is in 1 Peter chapter 5, that Satan is like the roaring lion to wander around looking for the prey to be devoured. Okay, so whenever you look at the term roar, immediately it associates to the roaring lion who was searching to devour. But how does the Satan, how does the lion, how does the lion devour the prey? It associates with the term roar. So what is this roar? How does the Satan devour the prey? The roar is associating to a voice, a sound that terrifies the prey. So what is this roar among us? What is this roar in the house of the Lord? The roar is the false message. So the enemy comes among us and try to lure us into his prey by giving the roar of the false teaching. As you grow up, you attend you attend school, and after that you start working, either from school, from your work, or from internet, how you or books, how you absorb more knowledge and information. You might realize one thing, that in our environment, that the lion is constantly roaring, trying to pass on this roar to shaken our heart, to weaken our faith, and to confuse our mind. Last year, my wife and my wife approached me and showed me some of the school material for elementary school, some of the required reading from third grade required reading. And my wife was very, very stressed over the story, the story for little kids. Because as she showed me that in the storybook of the required reading, the story with a picture, with a drawing, in the story, a lot of those are chart drawing on the storybook. It draw two men lying on the bed, and the story goes, he and his wife, You know that even the story itself did not really emphasize upon homosexuality. It didn't say anything about homosexuality. It did not. So sometimes if you don't pay attention, you might just slip through your scanning. It did not say anything. It only say he and his wife, but with the picture of two men on the bed, with two men holding hands. And this is what happened. This is the roar of the society, that they want to secretly sneaking ideas and passing and slowly impact your concept and mind. So you deem it as normal, you deem it as natural, you deem it as fully acceptable in your mind. And so because of that, my wife was very concerned and stressed. We are not in here to spend much time about homosexuality. The church has a very, very clear guideline according to the Bible. There's no need for discussion. The guideline is very straightforward because that's what the Bible says. So we are not here to talk about the detail of the content. But what I'm saying is, our society constantly through our environment, media, school, trying to build a different concept and idea so that it will shaken our traditional foundation and belief. And that soon or later, slowly, that you might be impact and you might accept a different concept. That's the roar. That's the roar of the lion. The roar of lion might be just a whisper. So in your mind, you don't need to picture someone who jump and start attacking you, challenging your face. Might not be that kind of roar. The roar might be like a brook, a gentle stream, but slowly change the course of the river. So this is the first thing that we need to be careful about the roar. And that's why in SSC, either in E2, J1, J2, even J2 SSC, in the Q&A session, we need to constantly dealing with evolution. Why? Because that's the concept, that's the roar the world try to give to you, and they talk as is an absolute fact. But for I believe that in your age, that after going through all these years of schooling, that you knew evolution is only another concept, because it's not, there's no scientific, solid scientific theory backing. It's only a hypothesis. Okay, so supposedly, creationism or evolutionism, both of them, they were supposed to, according to the science, they were supposed to be merely concepts, because none of them can be repeated in experiment. So science, if you cannot repeat the process, then you do not have any solid evidence. It becomes what? A mere theory, a concept. But you know what? The world, the school portrayed it is an absolute fact. It portrayed it as the only scientific explanation. That suddenly, boom, and life comes out. So, you know, by your age, you are able to debug, you are able to question. But how about when a child in the E2, J1, J2, when they were so vulnerable to accept everything, that they believe, oh, my teacher say, my teacher say, my teacher say, then the roaring of the lion start to impact their foundation. Also, the first challenge that we are facing here says the roaring of the lion in the myth of your meeting place. So, brothers and sisters, be very careful, because the world will constantly bombard you with new concept. Something might sound fancy, something might sound extraordinary, but you have to be able to discern. Number 2, in verse 4 says that they set up their banner for signs. The banner for the Israelites. For the Israelites, what is the banner for? You know that for 12 tribes, among the congregation, the assembly of the Israel, that there are 12 tribes, and 12 tribes that everyone has their own banner. So when they meet, when they march, when they gather, that you will see that in front of every tribe, there is a banner. They will lift up, they will erect a banner with the sign of the symbol of their tribe. So if you are the tribe of Judah, you cannot find, you got lost among the 2 million congregation. So you want to go back to your tribe. What do? You just lift up your head and search and look around, and then you will find the banner with the symbol of Judah. And then you just go there, and then you will return to your own tribe. But what is the problem in here? The problem in here is that your enemy, they also set up the banner in your meeting place among your congregation. So what is the problem that we see in here? In here we see confusion. We see that your enemy will come among you, and then they will fake their own banner. They will pretend that they are one of the tribe, and they want to gather you under their banner. So what do we see in here? The second challenge that we are seeing in here is to form their own tribes. Is the problem that we see is that instead of fall under the tribe, fall under the banner of the Lord, the 12 banner that belongs to the Lord, people start to erect their own banner, and they want people to gather under their banner to belong to them. Remember in 1 Corinthians, Apostle Paul rebuked the member in Corinth and say that some of you say you belong to Paul, some of you say that you belong to Apollo, and some of you say that you belong to Cephas, which is Peter. So what were they doing? They were erecting their own banner in the congregation of the Lord. So instead of stay in the tribe that belong to the Lord, now they want to form their own tribe, create their own banner, and they want people to follow them. So that's the second challenge that we are facing today. People, they have the tendency to follow the strong, to follow the eloquent, and to follow those who are able to demonstrate the differences. For example, if there's a pastor who are gifted in performing miracles, soon or later, you will find some members who love to gather around him. Listening to the story about how he cast out demons and ask him to share more about the testimony of performing miracle. Nothing wrong with that. But soon or later, some members like that might go deeper and deeper and eventually turn into the so-called follower of that particular worker. There was once I met with a very gifted worker, very gifted, very eloquent, and a very powerful worker. And the interesting thing is, I saw him in 3 different local church for spiritual convocation. And every time, whenever he show up in some place, I also see a few members that show up in the same place for events, for the convocations. So after the 3rd time, I asked that worker, I asked him, what's wrong with them? Like, why are they following you everywhere that you go? And then he just shake his head and he said, I don't know, can't get rid of them. They just follow whatever, and then they just come and approach it. Yeah, I mean, the worker was very, very troubled by their action. But at the same time, some people, they love to follow the person that they can see instead of following the invisible God. Some people build their faith upon certain individuals and follow them wherever they go and proclaim that they are his follower. This is what we call setting up the banner. It is good that you see and you find some worker that demonstrate good example. for you to learn, for you to imitate. Nothing wrong with that, because even Apostle Paul, he said, imitate me like how I imitate Christ. Okay? But the problem is you can learn from them, but you never worship them. You can learn from their good example, but you do not become any individual's follower. That's the principle. But at the moment when the banner was erected, not the banner from the house of Israel, not the banner from the Lord, but you are erecting your own banner, trying to gather people around you. Or you are the follower. Instead of looking for the banner of Israel, you're looking for some individual's banner. Then eventually, as described in here, that your sanctuary will be laying ruined. And then the altar of the law in your heart fall apart. Okay? So that's the second challenge that we are facing. Number 3 in verse 5. Verse 5 said that they seem like a man who lift up axe among the thick trees, cutting off the trees. What is cutting off the trees? According to the book of Ezekiel, and also, according to the Ezekiel, according to the book of Ezekiel and also the Revelation, you talk about the river of living water flow through. Okay, there's a river of living water comes from the throne of the Lord, and along the river there are trees. So what are the trees? What are the thick trees that we see in here? That's you and I. We are the tree that was planted next to the river of living water and bear fruits, and the leaf is good for medicine. So you and I, we are the trees. We are the trees along the living water. We are the fig trees planted in the vineyard. But at the same time in here, what is the problem that we see that result in devastation in the house of the Lord? Is when people lift up the axe and start chopping each other. So what do we see in here? We are seeing internal conflict. We are seeing workers trying to chop each other off. We are seeing members who try to chop each other off by our words, by our actions, to mutually attack one another, who show no sympathy for the weak and who show no compassion, who show no compassion to others. Can you imagine if the workers in the church start to lift up axes and trying to chop each other off by belittle others, by talking bad behind each other's back? What would that do to the church? And what would that do to the member? And what would that do to ourselves? So what is the third challenge in here? The third challenge is called jealousy and competition. Competition is common. It's in the human nature. We love to compete and we want to overpower others. It is not only in our nature, but also we were taught in this way in our society. From school to show that you are better than others so that you can compete and defeat other people. But at the same time, such a concept shall never be brought into the church. As we are serving the Lord together as one family, it's never about competition. It's never about who wins and who gets defeated. So then here we see, time's up. So then here we see that in Psalm chapter 74, it describes such a miserable devastation that the house of the Lord laying ruin, the temple in our heart fall apart. Why? Here is number one, that if you are following the roar of the lion, then eventually you get devoured by the lion. Number 2, when you are following the banner that does not belong to Israel, then you end up in the camp of the enemy. Number 3, if you take pride of your ability to fight, if you take pride of your word sharp like a dagger, always so precise in piercing other people's heart, then eventually that not only the house of the Lord, the church will get hurt and result in desolation. The temple that you build in your heart will fall apart as well. So then here, this is a warning for you and I at this end day, that your enemy, Satan, relentlessly love to see that in the house of the Lord, we fight among ourselves. He loves to see that we promote one individual and set them on the altar, set them on the throne of God, and we worship that individual. But you and I, we know better. So may God help us and strengthen us in this perverse generation. May the Lord protect us, strengthen us, and through many prayers to guard our heart. Let's all kneel down and pray in one accord. Please unmute yourself, and at the end, I will mute and I will ring the bell. Let's all kneel down and pray. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we pray.
主耶稣基督是你祷告啊！现在为主耶稣。
Amen.